Hey, welcome back to your morning mindset. We're talking about the seasons of the in-between. If you haven't yet, catch up with the past few episodes here, and you'll find that we've been talking about Joseph. Joseph had a dream from God, and this dream took a while to be fulfilled. In the time being, from dream to destiny, there are a lot of difficulties that he faced. And I want to talk about this because it's the Word of God that's testing him. And there are several tests that we go through in that season of in-between so that our character is refined, so that our faith stays alive, so that we have the strength to receive what God has for us, but also to keep it. Today I want to talk to you about the purity test. How are you handling temptation? Joseph, when he was a slave in Potiphar's house, every day, Potiphar's wife was flirting with him. She was tempting him. And I imagine that here's Joseph. He's a young guy, and she's probably beautiful. She has power, she has authority, and she has the ability to say, hey, let's just keep this secret. Nobody else needs to know what's going on. And he's around this every day in this environment. You can only imagine the games it's playing with his heart, with his hormones, with his mind. And yet he has a dream from God. He has a word from the Lord that of what the future is going to look like. And he knows if I say yes and give into this temptation, then I'm not going to be able to say yes and experience the fulfillment of the dream. So he has to make a decision that costs him something. On the pathway to seeing your dream fulfilled, you're going to face temptation tests. And if you say yes to God and no to that temptation, it will cost you something, but it will pay in the end. It will be worth it in the end. Joseph, he ran, but on his way out, she grabbed a hold of his coat and tore a little piece off, and then she falsely accused Joseph of trying to take advantage of her. Joseph did the right thing, but he ends up going to prison from there. And that leads us to another test, the prison test. Now, hopefully, in the fulfillment of God's plan for your life, it doesn't lead you to prison. But very similar, Joseph experienced this: unjust treatment, lies, and accusations. There are times in all of our lives when we're trying to go after the things that God has for us. And we're trying to walk in integrity. And we're trying to do the right thing. But somebody, for some reason, oftentimes as a plan of the enemy, they come up and they lie, they falsely accuse, they'll gossip, they'll slander, they'll make these accusations. How do you handle that? I heard a pastor say this a few years ago, and it helped me out. He said, it does not matter what people say about you as long as it's not true. Meaning this, they can say anything they want about you as long as it's not true. Because if it's not true, then you don't have a problem. They have a problem. But if what they're saying about you in a negative light is actually true, you do have a problem. You see, Joseph had to maintain his integrity and let God be his defense. And there are times that you are going to want to fight for yourself and stand up for yourself, and the Lord's saying, no, let me deal with this. Your integrity will defend you, and God sees these things. He knows what you're doing in secret, and He'll reward you openly. It's all a test. So before you go and make things right with your own vengeance, your own arm of vengeance, allow the Lord to be your defense. I hope that helps you in today's morning mindset. We'll be right back tomorrow with a couple more tests.